Welcome to the video for numbers 22 and 23 from the Chapter 3, Section 1 review. So 22 says the diagram shows a 30, 60, 90 right triangle. If the perimeter of the triangle is 18, find x. All right, so let's see if we can figure that one out. So we're talking about perimeter, and we know perimeter is the sum of all the sides. So if we're talking about the perimeter is 18, we're going to say here that if I add all three sides, x plus x radical 3 plus 2x, it should equal 18. Okay, so how do we do this? Well, in this case here, we're adding these three things together, and we want to be able to combine them. Notice I have basically, like, this is like 1x, right? So we have 1x plus an x times the square root of 3 plus 2 times an x. All three of our terms have a common factor, right? X. So this is actually an instance where we are going to factor out x as the greatest common factor. Okay, so we're going to factor out that x. So when we factor out x, let's see what we have left over. Right, so we'd have a 1 plus the square root of 3 plus the 2, right? So we'd have 1 plus the square root of 3 plus the 2. And right now that would still equal 18. And we can go ahead and combine our like terms. We see that that 1 and the 2, we can add them together. So we have x times the quantity of 3 plus the square root of 3 is equal to 18. And our goal is to solve it for x, so we need to get rid of that 3 plus the square root of 3. We're going to take it and we're going to divide each side by 3 plus the square root of 3. So we're going to end up here with x is equal to 18 over 3 plus the square root of 3. However, we're working on rationalizing denominators in this chapter, so we don't want to leave that square root of 3 in the denominator. So since it's a binomial, remember we need to multiply by the conjugate. So if I multiply the bottom by 3 minus the square root of 3, then I also have to do the same thing on the top. So let's see what we get. Right, when I distribute that 18 through, I'd have, 54 minus 18 times the square root of 3 over, let's see here, right in the bottom, remember we're going to FOIL this out, but this is like saying a plus b times a minus b. So remember, this is always going to equal a squared minus b squared. So we're going to write this as 3 squared minus the square root of 3 squared. In which case you would end up with 9 minus 3. So let's see what we have here. Right now we have 54 minus 18 times the square root of 3 over 6. Okay, but because 54 and 18 are both divisible by 6, let's just go ahead and give them each their own denominator and simplify it. 54 sixths minus 18 radical 3 sixths is going to equal 9 minus 3 radical 3. That is our value for x. That is the length of this side. This is 9 minus 3 times the square root of 3. Okay, so if we're trying to check our answers, right, we've already got this side is 9 minus 3 times the square root of 3. Then we've got the ability here to plug it in for this one. Now we've got 9 minus 3 times the square root of 3 times the square root of 3. So we've got the ability to distribute this through to simplify it. So when we do that, we're going to have 9 times the square root of 3 minus 9, right? Because the radical 3 times radical 3 is 3, and then we're going to multiply that times this 3. And then our last one here, we're going to take it here. We're going to say this is 2 times the 9 minus 3 times the square root of 3. We're going to go ahead and distribute this through. So we're going to get 18 minus 6 times the square root of 3. And I'm sorry if you hear my son screaming and crying in the background. It's dinner time and he's very picky. So Yeah, awesome. So let's go ahead here and let's add all three of these sides together. So we're going to say 9 minus 3 times the square root of 3 plus 18 minus 6 times the square root of 3 plus 9 times the square root of 3 minus 9, right? That's that last side. If we go through and we combine our like terms, okay, we've got 9 plus 18 is 27, minus 9 is 18, right? So we're left with 18 right there. And then when you look at 9 radical 3 minus 6 radical 3 would be 3 radical 3. And if we take away this 3 radical 3, we get 0. So it's like 0 plus 18, which is the perimeter that we're looking for, right? So we just checked it, it works, and we feel confident, and we move on. All right, so let's go to 23 here. This is the last one. The diagram shows a 45, 45, 90 right triangle. If the hypotenuse is 30 units, find the perimeter. Okay, so you got to just make sure you read the directions. It's asking you to find the perimeter. So we know that this is a 45, 45, 90 isosceles right triangle. We know that the hypotenuse is 30. So if this side we don't know, this side we don't know, but we know that the hypotenuse is radical 2 times longer than that. So we can use this information here. If I know that whatever my short side is, if I multiply that times radical 2, right, it should end up equaling 30. So that's the equation we have. So we're going to say x radical 2 is equal to 30. So our goal here then, let's just figure out what x equals. Let's divide each side by 2. We've got x is going to equal 30 over radical 2. Now, let's rationalize the denominator. This should be no problem at this point, right? We're going to multiply the top and bottom by the square root of 2. We get 30 times the square root of 2 over 2, which is going to give us 15 times the square root of 2. That means here that x is equal to 15 times the square root of 2. Our one side here, this is 15 times the square root of 2. This is 15 times the square root of 2. And this side here we already said was 30. So to find the perimeter, let's just add those three things together. So our perimeter, we've got 15 radical 2 plus 15 radical 2 plus 30. Add them together. These two we can combine. This would be 30 times the square root of 2 plus our 30, or you can rewrite it as 30 plus 30 times the square root of 2. That is the perimeter. I don't know if I spelled that right. Let me fix that real quick. All right, so this is the last set of problems on the review. If you have additional questions, please make sure you reach out. Remember, these ones should be units. And I was bad. I should have said this one would have been units up here too.